peaceful out here. Fight over the weekend, folks. That was a war. Two champions standing toe-to-toe into the final bell. Got the green on, shades on, same face. Just me keeping it real in the booth. But here's the question everybody's asking right now. Did the judges get it right? Did the right man walk away with the fight?
Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the Mechee from the Midwest podcast. I know you're not used to seeing me on a Monday, but I had to get in here and cover a couple of topics while it was fresh in my brain. And I figured, like, when it gets to the weekend, I usually do my podcast on Thursday night and post on Friday. Some of these, with the fights with Saturday night, I need to start getting in here Monday and letting it be fresh versus waiting all the way until my next schedule. So I'm going to try to put out a little bit more content quicker. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, the two topics I wanted to cover right quick is this whole Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane situation that's going on. I know it's rumors out there. Can't say everything's facts, but I'm going to give y'all up to date on what's going on. And I want to talk about this boxing fight that went down on Saturday between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder. And I actually want to start there first. I want to get into the CompuBox, the stats on the fight and what I thought about the fight. First off, as far as the fight went, I said before I was going for Wilder. I thought it would be an early knockout just because he's the bigger fighter. And I thought he'd have the more heavier punches and stuff like that, even though Chisora likes to walk people down and put him in a corner. I thought when he put Wilder in the corner that he's going to knock him out. But Wilder was able to hold his own. I still hate the way he does his defense. Like, Will Willis, no defense there. He don't never block a punch. He don't try to get out the way of punching. He just stay right here. And it's like that, that them hood dudes, when you slap boxing everybody like this and shit. That's what he is doing the whole fight. And he's been doing that his whole career. Luckily, only a couple people been able to catch him and knock him out. But Chisora, with him being older, his age showed this fight. And as far as the fight go, it was actually entertaining. It was very funny because, like, Wilder and Chisora ended up on the ground a couple of times. Chisora ended up on the outside of the ropes, like he about to get tagged in for a tag team championship match or something. It was just a lot of stuff going on. But the key thing was that they took a point from Wilder, right? Chisora got away with him. I don't know if he stepped on Wilder's foot and he slipped a little bit, but they counted that as a knockdown. So to me, I was going for Wilder, but it was like the way that the fight was going, it was so close. I thought they'd give it to Chisora because it was in London, in his backyard, retiring fight. I thought they would take more points or the refs wouldn't side with Wilder due to him being pushed out the ring a couple of times. He even, I don't know, Wilder looked at too much wrestling for this fight because I know, like I said, about the tag team thing, that's what Chisora did. But Wilder had a moment where he had Chisora in the corner and Chisora was like this, like waiting to embrace the punch. And Wilder said, I love you. And he swung at him, but when he swung, he barely hit him. And then he pushed him out the ropes. And it's like they should be taking points for that. If you're outside the ring and you're pushing people outside the ring, take a point. Not saying disqualify. You have to take a point, especially in a fight like this close. I know it's not a title eliminator or anything like that, but this was a very close fight. As far as the numbers go, let's get into the numbers right quick. Total punches landed. Chisora 143 to Wilder's 125. Total jabs, 38 for Chisora, Wilder 26. Power punches, Chisora 105 and Wilder 99. That's a close fight. When you look at the rounds, they were tied on punches 2 rounds, and then the other one, Chisora, was up 6 rounds to 4. So you would think, again, they would decide to go with Chisora in London, but they didn't do that. No knock on Wilder, but I wanted this to be a lesson learned for him, maybe for him to really step down from the game. I said I love him as a fighter, but I always knew what his issue was, and it was that he has no defense. He hasn't gotten better. He hasn't improved in any part of his game. Only thing was that he can take a punch, and that's what that saved him, because a lot of those punches, if he'd have got Chisora maybe 5 years ago, them punches he was landing on him on that chin would have knocked Wilder out clean. Where do they go from here? Derek Chisora said he's retiring. He said the boss lady was going to make the call. His wife came into the ring. I think he said he's 42 maybe. And she said that it's time to hang him up. So he said that he's going to talk to her again. But it looks like we've seen the end of Derek Chisora, great career. He didn't dunk no smoke. He fought all the top heavyweights. He fought AJ. He fought Fury, Wilder, Dylan White. He fought all the top dogs, man. So you can't blame him for that. He went out on his own. Thankfully, he didn't get knocked out. As far as Wilder goes, man, I just don't get it, man. After the end of the fight, he said he saw AJ in the crowd, and he told him when he walked by him, "Hey, let's do it, let's fight." To me, that fight makes sense because it's going to be a bigger draw. It's going to bring in a lot of money, which that's what he should be looking for. It's a big payday. I can see AJ knocking him out just because, not because AJ's stronger, but I feel like AJ still has his power to knock Wilder out. The punches Wilder was landing on Chisora should have laid him out. But I think, like everybody said, these last couple fights that he's lost or been in battles with that he lost, it's been a toll on him. His power's not there. Nobody's fearing his power anymore. And like I said, I'm a Wilder's fan, but I'm always keep it honest with you, especially when it comes to these type of sports. I think he did okay, but he could have did a lot better. He could have made an example out of Chisora, but he didn't. I don't think he deserves the AJ fight. I would rather see him fight somebody like Big Baby Jamel Miller. I think that'd be a nice fight because Miller's going to put pressure on him and force him to fight. But I think Wilder can put some punches together and actually knock him out. It'd be a great fight, but if he's going to go for the money, it should be with AJ. So we'll see what's next on that. Another fight that happened over the week was Tim Tszyu. He got back in the ring and won by unanimous decision. And I want to say that's the welterweight division or 154, something like that. And after the fight, he called out Errol Spence. Errol Spence hasn't fought since he fought Terrence Crawford quite some time ago, maybe like, I want to say like 2, maybe 3 years ago now. He hasn't fought since then. And I know a lot of people say his confidence gone. He don't need to be back in the ring. But this man is like 30-1. Go prove yourself. You couldn't beat Terrence Crawford. Nobody was able to beat Terrence Crawford. He just beat Canelo Alvarez last year. He's one of the greatest of all time. It's no shame in alluding to the greatest at the current moment. But this is a fight that will put Errol Spence back in the win column and make people looking like, depending on how he looks, if he beat somebody like Tim Tszyu, he'll get some calls to fight some bigger fish. And I think this fight makes sense. I actually love to see that fight, just to see Spence back in there and see if he still got that passion to continue fighting. Because he's in his mid-30s maybe. So he's getting up there. At some point, he's going to need to retire. But this is a fight just to clearly see, do I still got it? He's not looking for no tomato can to fight, no little warm-up, tune-ups is what they call it. He's not looking for nothing. He want to get right back into action. I think it'll be a good fight. Tim Tszyu is now 3 for 3 in his last 6 fights. Perfect person to fight him because they could have fought when they was both undefeated, but they both took some L's. So that's all I had for boxing, and I had to get in here and tell you about that, give y'all a couple updates. We got the boxing card this week, Usyk versus some kickboxing cat. We'll get into that card. Y'all see that Friday morning when I get in here and make the predictions Thursday night. But that's all I got for y'all for boxing. Let's take a quick break and let's get into this final topic I want to speak on is the Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane.
I'm not getting out of this deal until you make me $100 million.
Man, that's crazy.
Better get to work.
All right, y'all still rocking with me. Let me know what is going on in your part of the town. Mechee from the Midwest. Pooh Shiesty and Gucci, man. I can't believe what I'm about to say, but this has been the craziest week. This situation happened a couple of months ago, and it finally just hit the air. The rumors were out, and we finally figured out what was going on. So if you don't know who Gucci Mane is, he's a rapper from Atlanta. He's a legend in Atlanta. Pooh Shiesty is from Memphis, Tennessee. He is one of Gucci's artists. What happened, what the rumor is that pretty much Pooh Shiesty went to prison maybe about 3-4 years ago. He was locked up, got into some trouble when he was one of the hottest young rappers out. Gets out of prison, fast forward to present day, drops FDO, first day out. It do numbers around the holidays. They said this was #1 for a couple of weeks over Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas song. That is a big deal. Everybody's waiting for him to drop music. Got out, dropped a fire song. We've been waiting for the album to come. Like some songs will come out. I think they said he had a feature with somebody. But after that, we just sitting here waiting. The whole time, he got a whole situation going on with Gucci. Apparently, the rumor is, and what the paperwork is showing right now, is that Pooh Shiesty wanted out of his record deal with Gucci Mane. They set up a meeting to do the contract talk, and when they got there, Pooh Shiesty pretty much said, "Hey, I'm trying to get out my deal," and Gucci was like, "Nah, not right now," or whatever. He didn't let him out the deal, and things went left. What is being reported is Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, and Pooh Shiesty Pops, and a couple of his little gang or whatever you want to call it, decided that if you ain't gonna let me out by just word of mouth, I'm gonna put pressure on you. And what was happening was a gun was drawn, put the Gucci Mane head, and was told to sign this contract to let me out. Gucci signs the contract. They said whoever, which was Pooh Shiesty, showed his dad the paperwork and said, "Hey, is everything good?" He said, "No, he didn't put a date on it." Gucci puts the date on it, and boom, pretty much Gucci was like, "Hey, that's not really how this works, man. Like, that ain't doing it. Yeah, I signed the paperwork, but we still gotta go through the lawyer and all this stuff to actually let you out the deal." He wasn't trying to hear none of that. So Big 30 and a couple other little members he had with him decided to go beat up on the other people that was there. They end up taking jewelry, I think a little bit of money, and some of their prized possessions, and they posted on social media like dummies. Now, my opinion and what I believe went wrong here is simple. Pooh Shiesty didn't learn a damn thing while he was in prison. You just was one of the biggest rappers out, and you get out of prison. Everybody's waiting for you to drop music. All you got to do is like, you know what? Let me get my music, see how long I got left in this deal, finish your deal, be an honorable man, and get the hell on. As the saying goes, you can't take the streets out of a street motherfucker. I don't know if that's the saying, but that's the way I see it. Some people are just accustomed to being street dudes, and they feel like that's what they got to be. That's what they got to portray to be for the rest of their life. We have rappers that rap about shit that they really ain't do, and then we got rappers that rap about shit that they actually do. Pooh Shiesty is one of the people that rap about the things he do, and that's what he did. He went out here and robbed the person that put him on the map. Now, a conspiracy theory that I have for this situation is that I haven't heard anybody report this yet, but Gucci is from Atlanta. Pooh Shiesty is from Memphis, Tennessee. Gucci and Yo Gotti didn't used to like each other. I'm pretty sure Yo Gotti tried to sign Pooh Shiesty when he was getting hot, and he decided to sign with Gucci. With them two not liking each other, with you being from Memphis, just like Pooh Shiesty, was this an inside hit? This is my conspiracy theory. I believe that it was like an inside hit that Pooh Shiesty was like, if he ain't, I'm gonna get back for the city, and I'm gonna do this for Gotti. Not saying he did it for Gotti, but apparently they never squashed their little shit that they had going on. That's just my conspiracy theory. I want to know in the opinions, how do y'all feel about the whole situation? Who was in the right? Because a lot of people saying Gucci is snitch and all this shit, but if you got a gun to your head, this is not the old Gucci. We've seen him grow. Once he get out of prison, he's learned his lesson. He's becoming a better man. It's all about growth, man. You can't be in the streets forever. At some point, you're gonna have to hang him up. You can't be 50 years old in the street talking about you a street nigga. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't happen like that. At some point, you have to get out and grow up and be a man and put the past behind you. And that's what Gucci been doing. Obviously, Pooh Shiesty being young, he didn't get it, man. He don't get it. He just blew one of the biggest opportunities of his life. Now, I'm not saying that he did it, but all the paperwork is pointing towards him doing it. So in the comments, I want y'all to tell me, what side are you leaning towards? Are you on Gucci's side? Did Gucci do the right thing by telling them that it was Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 in his pops? Or was Pooh Shiesty right for putting him up at gunpoint, trying to demand himself out of deal? Which, like I said, I don't believe you can side with Pooh Shiesty in this situation, because yes, you want out a deal, but you have to do it the right way. You can't always keep it street. It's not going to work like that. Now you just got out of prison. You might be headed back, and this time they might not let you out for some years. Like you think 2 or 3 years. Imagine having to do 20, 30 years for attempted murder because you kidnapped this man. And you had a gun to his head. That's attempted murder, man. It's a sad day, man. It's a sad day because Gucci tried to get his young man a chance. Even when all his label mates start passing away and stuff, he said for the two that's still in prison, Fujiano and Pooh Shiesty, I'm keeping them on the record label and pretty much to get him a chance when they get out. And now it's just left with Fujiano. So I'm pretty sure he'll get dropped soon. But Pooh Shiesty, man, this like everybody getting donkey of the day on Breakfast Club. I'm just saying, like, man, you gotta do better, man. But it might be too late for Pooh Shiesty, man. So, anyways, I just want to give him here and give y'all the little quick summary on what I had about it and what I feel about the situation. I believe that I'm always believe Yo Gotti got something to do with Memphis. I ain't trying to put shit on him, but it seems like something's off. Something's not being told, but the truth will come out sooner or later. That's all I got, man. I will catch y'all back here on Friday when I get into these other topics. A couple of things that I saw the documentary on Lamar Odom. We'll get into that. We'll get into boxing for this week. Usyk versus that kickboxing guy I can't think of right now. We'll get into a classic album, and we'll get into a couple more things as the week goes by. I have my list on what we're going to talk about. But in the meantime, make sure that you subscribe to the Mechee from the Midwest podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Run those numbers up, run those views up. When you see this video, make sure you're sharing it. Just like I said, help a brother out, man. I just want to get my content out there. And if you want to be on the show, make sure you DM or comment that you want to be on the show, and we can schedule something for a Thursday night. And I'll post it Friday, man. And if you want to tell your story, or if you want to talk about any topics, we'll make it happen. So that's all I got for y'all. Happy Monday. Keep pushing through the week. Make things happen.
All black tonight. Shirt says it all. Mechee from the Midwest. Been a long day, but the city stays awake. Hold up. You see that? MFTM in the sky. Guess they're calling.